boy, Coach, you've got the new artwork on the banner, expecting a national championship. You've got the national champion mascot in Buzz. Boy, I guess things must be really looking up for you guys in Atlanta.
I guess that's what everyone else thinks. So, I mean, Chris sent that to me the other day, and no reply back on that one. So that was a danger either way I took it, but I appreciate Chris.
Well, Brent, let me ask you this. If you're going to get to that 2024 national championship, there's probably a few items on your checklist you got to get addressed first. Obviously, quarterback is going to be at or near the top of that list. You bring in Haynes King. I'm wondering if I'll see you on the sideline like Jimbo with like 50 papers trying to figure out what play to call next with him, or will he be a better fit maybe at Georgia Tech? And how's that quarterback room looking right now?
Yeah, Haynes has come in and done a really good job of, number one, fitting into the locker room and fitting in with the guys on the team that were already here. And that's always important, number one, quarterback position, but also as we're coming in, and that's something we really look for when we bring transfers in. How are they going to fit into the locker room? How do they mesh with different guys? Especially when you bring in transfer at that position, they have to be able to earn the respect of everyone else on the team and guys that have been here. So it was a pretty seamless transition for him coming in, and then really at the ground zero with everyone really learning the offense, that Buster put in. So, him and both the Zachs, Zach Byron, Zach Gibson, it's a good competition right now. All three of them made improvements in the spring, and at the same time, all three of them, along with before we're able to step out and be ready to kick off the season this year.
Brent, what about defensively? You guys made so many big improvements, particularly in the secondary last season. I think you averaged 60 fewer passing yards per game allowed on defense a year ago. What can we expect from that group moving forward headed into this season?
Well, hopefully continued improvement. It's a process every day to, for those guys on the back end, really for the entire defense. We all know a good back end really it starts up front with the type of pressure quarterback and the ability to affect the quarterback. And sometimes, affecting the quarterback isn't always, charted as a sack or a pressure. It's just the ability to make him throw off balance and be a little bit off on his target or a little bit off on timing, and that helps the back end. So really getting all three levels to play together, that's something we really worked on this spring. Kept it very simple. The spring was about developing a sense of toughness on our football team, building a disciplined football team, and really just being back to the basic fundamentals of playing the game. How to block, how to tackle, how to catch, throw. DBs, guard, and receivers, getting off blocks on the D line and affecting the quarterback.
Well, you talk about affecting the quarterback, and I think the position probably most near and dear to your heart is the offensive line, and your quarterback was affected probably too much last season. You had a lot of young guys getting a lot of snaps on that offensive line last year, but we always hear coaches say, well, through the fire and you come out the other side a better player. Did you see examples of that this spring as guys who really kind of got that trial by fire last year look like different players now?
Yeah, it was good to see the group of guys that all have experience playing in games to be able to line up out there and have five guys that it's not going to be their first time going out and playing in front of a big audience. So anytime you can have experience coming back on the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball, it's a good thing. Now, obviously, as the head coach, as opposed to being the O-line coach, every good day for the O-line, bad day for the D-line, and vice versa. So there's a lot of stake you have there, and that's really how you build the football team. Is it starts in the trenches, and you have to build it and have some give and take throughout the spring and throughout all summer and preseason to really have both sides of the ball elevate as it gets time to play the football.
Brent, I wanted to ask you about something off the field. Last month, you made some comments after the school shooting in Nashville. Your mom was a teacher. And I'm just wondering what kind of reaction you got after you made those comments post-practice.
Yeah, I mean, all positive. Very positive, very supportive. I won't get into people that did reach out or say different things. I'll keep that personal because at the end of the day, it was not something. It was not something to get publicity for myself or for Georgia Tech. It was something to really try to open people's eyes and speak out on something that's near and dear to my heart. But it was all very positive, and as much as we can continue to move forward and do something, and everyone do something. But some of the extreme positive things that have come out of that, as well as other things, we've got to continue to hopefully make strides in that area.
Well, Brent, it's as unfortunate as it is. I mean, there's been even up to just a few days ago more of these incidents where innocent people dying, including children, in these situations. And I think back to 2020 after the George Floyd stuff, and we saw so much of an outpouring of public support and communications and discussions from the college football world. And at least from my vantage point, I thought it made a real impact in addressing an audience that maybe wasn't engaging with these conversations always. Do you feel like that can be a role or should be a role for coaches like yourself or players that might want to step up and comment on some of these issues?
That's it. That's each coach's decision, each athletic association, what path they want to take with that. Felt the need that day, to have a platform to say something, and I did. Oregon did something recently. I out to Dan after that, and a couple other guys on staff, and commended them for what they did. But again, there's nothing political about this. There's nothing religious about this. There's nothing, anti-pro anything about this. This is about human people. It's about kids and adults, and it's about what's right and what's wrong. That bottom line, that's what it is.
All right, Brent. Well, we really appreciate you taking all this time, and special shout out to Mike Flynn, who was helping us through these technical difficulties, and obviously to you too, Brent, for joining us today. And obviously we'll be watching for what you guys do headed into this season. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate Mike for doing this, and go Jackets.